Today, Ubisoft reveals a brand new season that is coming to Rainbow Six Siege, Operation Heavy Metal. So today, we will go over all of the new content and changes that are coming with the new season. We will go over the new operator, her unique gadget, the new arcade game mode, the changes to quick match and unranked, the shotgun rework, the new tutorials, balance changes, and more. Of course, a big thank you to Ubisoft for inviting me to play the new season early. Let's start with the new operator. Her name is Ram and she is a 3 health and 1 speed attacker from South Korea who will be joining the Red Hammer squad. For primary weapons, she has access to the LMG-E as well as the R4C, which does have the ability to equip the 1.5 as well as the 2.0 times scopes. For secondary weapons, she has the choice between the ITA-12S shotgun or the Mark 1 9mm pistol, and for secondary gadgets, she can pick between either stun grenades or heartbeat charges. Her unique gadget is called the Boogie Auto Breacher. She gets 4 of these and is the biggest throwable in Siege. This gadget is not controllable by the player, and once it is activated, it will start moving forward up to approximately 10 meters and destroy any soft surface in its way, including floors, non-reinforced hatches, and if it hits a wall, it will make a crouch hold that you will be able to get through. It will also destroy any defender gadgets that it comes in contact with, such as deployable shields, barbed wire, and Kiba barriers, which will be very useful when needing to clear utility in choke points and narrow hallways. To use it, you need to throw the gadget and then activate it by pressing the button again. This gadget is very heavy and tanky compared to other gadgets we have seen in the past, and you can't throw it too far, but you can throw it while being repelled. Keep in mind that there is no maximum range from where you can activate the gadget, so once it is placed, you can activate it from anywhere on the map. You can change its trajectory by pressing the alternate fire button before activating it. You have the option to either make it curve to the left, to the right, or go straight, but you cannot change the direction once it's activated. This will help you clear utility that's behind the corner without having to expose yourself to the angle. On the front of the gadget, there is this light over here that will let you know in which direction it's heading. However, do be careful because defenders can see this as well. You can also throw the boogie towards barricades to take them down quickly, which will be very useful for rushes, but castle barricades will withstand the impact. To take down castle barricades with the boogie, you will have to throw it down and activate it, and this will destroy it like most other defender gadgets it comes across. The hitbox for things to get destroyed by the boogie is much bigger than the boogie itself. As a rule of thumb, if something is under crouch height, it gets destroyed, so be sure to place your gadgets at head height whenever possible to avoid them getting destroyed. This gadget is very loud, so loud that using it to mask sound of things like footsteps, planting the diffuser, or placing heartbeat gadgets is a very viable strategy.
Deployed.
It is also bulletproof, so to stop the boogie, you will need to either use explosives like an impact grenade or a nitro cell, or you can shoot this red canister on the back, which will immediately destroy it. Before the gadget is activated, it is considered as an electronic gadget, so it will be jammed by mute signal disruptors and it is detectable by Solus. But once it is activated, it is no longer considered as an electronic gadget, so it won't be stopped by mute jammers or be detectable by Solus anymore. Nothing will stop it other than the methods I mentioned earlier. Fire doesn't stop it, electricity from Kador Bandit doesn't stop it either, not even Aruni's Syria gate can stop it. During testing, we let the boogie go through the gate and the gate got disabled, but the boogie kept going. Then later we tried throwing the boogie at the gate outright and the gate went down, but the boogie survived and could be picked back up. So Ram might be a very good operator to counter Aruni. If you want to use the Boogie Auto Breacher with the intention of breaching a soft wall, I do not recommend placing it head on. Instead, for more destruction, angle it so it will hit the wall diagonally and this will open up a lot more of the wall. This will be very useful when combined with a Maverick trick when trying to open up a breach like on, for example, the CCTV wall on the clubhouse. I highly recommend you do this anytime you intend on opening up a wall with this gadget. When Clash is hit by the boogie, she does move her shield out of the way as if she was meleeed, making her vulnerable. This is not a very practical thing to do because The boogie is very slow and she can probably hear it coming from a mile away, but it is good to know. It is also important to note that every defender gadget gets destroyed by the boogie, even bulletproof ones like Maestro Evil Eyes and deactivated Fenrir Dread Mines. So like I mentioned earlier, remember to place them above crouch height to avoid having them be destroyed. Ram is a fantastic operator for vertical play and will be perfect to clear defender utility and help attackers easily push forward into the objective. This season, Ubisoft will also be making changes to Quick Match and Unranked. Let's start with Quick Match. First, they made tweaks to the matchmaking algorithm to help find matches faster, and they also reduced the round timers from the planning phase to the action phase to help the game mode live up to its name a bit more and make Quick Match, well, quicker. They will also be introducing 2 new systems, one for each team. The attackers will get what's called Attacker Protection. Attacker Protection is a 10-second invulnerability phase, meaning that the defenders will not be able to kill attackers for the first 10 seconds of the round, which I absolutely love. There is nothing more frustrating as a new player than being spawn peeked or run out on every single time in the beginning of rounds, and this should hopefully help stop that at least a little bit. Defenders will get a new system called Pre-Setup. This means that at the start of the round in the preparation phase, some reinforcements and rotation holes will already be pre-placed to help save some time. The goal is to make Quick Match a lot more casual and faster with this update, and I definitely think it's a step in the right direction. They also made some changes to Unranked this season, starting with the name. Unranked will now be called Standard. Map and operator bans have been removed, and the overtime rounds have been reduced to just 1 to help stop the game from dragging on too long. They are trying to make Standard sort of like a midpoint between Quick Match and Ranked, and I am looking forward to seeing how the changes will play out. They will also be introducing a brand new game mode to the arcade called Weapon Roulette. The rules for this game mode are very simple. This is basically team deathmatch with a twist, and that twist is that everyone on both teams are on the same guns and attachments, and the loadout will rotate every 45 seconds. I played this game mode a little bit during the playtest with other fellow creators, and it was a lot of fun. It forces you to adapt to new weapons and attachments that you might not usually use, and I think that's great. They will also be slightly reworking the way shotguns work this season, but do keep in mind that the changes will not apply to slug shotguns. From now on, shotguns will have more precision when ADSing, more destruction when hip firing, and even more destruction when hip firing and moving. The intention with these changes is to make shotguns more viable and consistent, but I am concerned that we might be heading towards a shotgun meta. I mean, during the playtest, I got one shot from this distance on Oryx, which is a 2-health operator, but I guess only time will tell. There will finally be new playable tutorials to help new players learn the game. Before this update, the only playable tutorials new players had were the situations, which personally I do not find them that useful. It was more so just a way for me to earn some extra renown. But these new tutorials, however, do a much better job at guiding newcomers who are playing Siege for the first time. These tutorials are split into 3: Basics, Attack, and Defense, and you will be playing as Sledge, Thermite, and Bandit respectively. These new tutorials go over things like leaning, verticality, droning, secondary gadgets, some unique gadgets, and more. They actually go more in depth than I thought they would. The defense tutorial, for example, even goes over making rotations between sites, which for some reason I was not expecting it though. We all know Siege has a very steep learning curve, and I am very glad to see updates like this to hopefully help attract new players to the game we all love. There are also quite a few balance changes coming this season, so I will give you a very quick summary of everything that is coming, starting with the Frost rework. As you have probably already seen during the 6th Invitational, from now on, attackers caught in a welcome mat will be able to pick themselves back up. If they do pick themselves back up, they will have a debuff that will last a whopping 60 seconds. While the debuff is applied, you will not be able to sprint, you will leave a blood trail behind, meaning that the Frost will be able to track you down, and you will also produce vocal sound cues that the defenders can hear. However, you will not have the debuff if a teammate picks you up from the welcome mat instead. And from now on, Frost will be able to deploy the welcome mat a little bit faster. With these changes, you will now have to follow up on your welcome mats and go for the kill. Gone are the days where you can place it on the other side of the map for a potential free pick. From now on, you have to play close to it and follow up on it, which I do like. But I am curious what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below. Grim will be getting the second part of his rework this season. His first buff focused on the efficiency of the launcher, but this season they will be adding a new alternate fire mode. When this alternate fire mode is active, his projectiles can bounce off a surface. This will allow Grim to place bees in trickier spots from safety, especially around doorways, and coupled with the buffs he had last season, I think he is in a much better spot now. Legion also got some massive changes this season. The refill timer on his glue mines has been reduced to 20 seconds from 30 seconds. He can now get up to 9 mines instead of 8. The initial damage has been reintroduced at 5 HP. The poison damage has been increased to 12 HP from 8. The poison timer between bursts of damage has been reduced to 2 seconds from 2.5 seconds. The cloaking has been removed. The HUD icon of the goo mines has been removed. Stepping on a goo mine while being affected by another will now reset the poison timer and deal poison damage instantly. Goo mines will now have an area of effect feedback, meaning it will have like this circle around it that I'm showing you here, and it is no longer considered to be an electronic gadget, so IQ's electronic detector won't, well, detect it, and it is no longer hackable by Provost's clutch drone. And for loadouts, he will now also have access to the super shorty shotgun. Last but not least, for balance updates, from now on, both Zero's Argus cameras as well as Fuse cluster charges can now be used on deployable shields and OSA talent shields. Starting from this season, you will now be able to commend 2 other players at the end of the match with the brand new Commendation System. Players can be commended for 4 different categories: dedication, guidance, valor, and if they are on the enemy team, they can be commended as well as a worthy opponent. Those who are frequently commended by other players will be rewarded with alpha packs. Ubisoft also heard our feedback regarding the reputation system, regarding information on how to receive the highest reputation standing, so they will be adding a dedicated page showing some of the key negative actions and behaviors that you have engaged in that have impacted your reputation standing. For quality of life changes, you will now be able to finally kick players from your squad, which is a really nice change, and you can also promote them to party leader. You will now also be able to read patch notes inside the game itself, so you can easily keep yourself updated on all the changes that are coming to Siege. And something that I am very excited about is that now you will be able to completely turn off your HUD in the match replay. This, coupled with the free cam, will be absolutely amazing for content creators, and I cannot wait to see what people come up with. That's all I have for you today. A big thank you to Ubisoft once again for inviting me to the school event. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys on the next one.